Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw will go down as one of the greatest left-handed pitchers in baseball history, and has surely earned himself a spot in the Baseball Hall of Fame whenever his career ends. I know this video is a hot take, but the Yak Fam just had to dive into the world of Clayton Kershaw once and for all. Since making his MLB debut with the Dodgers in 2008, Kershaw has proven himself capable of dominating games with ease. His overpowering fastball, which often reached the upper 90s when he was in his prime, coupled with his devastating and iconic Cooperstown curveball that's made countless of the world's best hitters look like little leaguers, has made Kershaw a formidable challenge for MLB's best lineups for well over 15 seasons. With strikeout rates that rank among the highest ever recorded in baseball statistics history, Kershaw has consistently generated swings and misses during his Hall of Fame-worthy career. With multiple Cy Young Awards and an MVP trophy to his name, he's not only showcased individual brilliance, but has also established himself as a pillar among the elite pitchers in the sport. His masterful performances in the postseason, especially during the Dodgers' World Series winning run in 2020, underscore his remarkable ability to shine in clutch moments, a critical factor in his team's triumphs. As time progresses, Clayton Kershaw's contributions to baseball will continue to resonate. Statistically, emotionally, and culturally, he's destined to leave a lasting legacy, securing his place among the legends of the game. Whether through his remarkable achievements or his transformative influence on and off the field, Kershaw's name will forever echo in discussions about the best left-handed pitchers for years to come. However, that's not to say Kershaw hasn't faced any adversity in his career. Like any player in baseball, Kershaw has dealt with many failures and humbling experiences along the way, not to mention succumbing to various injuries that have kept him off the field for long stretches of time, including most of the 2024 regular season and the playoffs. Despite Kershaw not throwing a single pitch of the 2024 MLB playoffs, his Dodgers team still won the World Series. And with many of LA's best starting pitchers also coming off injury next year, such as Japanese megastar Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, and Dustin May, the now 36-year-old lefty may find himself out of a spot in the Dodgers starting rotation. Given his team's success with him riding the bench, a few questions have to be asked. Do the Dodgers really need Clayton Kershaw? And do his pitching analytics speak as highly about Kershaw as anecdotes in the eye test? But before we get to the bottom of that question, we'll take a deep look into Kershaw's upbringing, his college baseball recruitment, the minor league contract, and every other contract he signed, along with all the additional aspects and anecdotes of his career that will inform us how bad this Clayton Kershaw guy actually is. Before we dive into that, if you like what you see, like this video and subscribe to this channel to remain up to date on everything baseball. Clayton Kershaw was born on March 19, 1988 in Dallas, Texas. His parents are Christopher George Kershaw and Mary Ann Kershaw, who was previously known as Mary Ann Tombaugh. Clayton's father was a musician and was renowned enough to have won a prestigious Clio Award, which is given to individuals who demonstrate excellence in advertising, design, and communication. However, Kershaw's parents divorced when he was 10 years old. His father remarried quickly after, and Clayton was mostly raised by his mother Mary Ann from that point on. Kershaw attended high school at Highlands Park High School in Dallas, where his exceptional talent as a pitcher quickly became evident. He excelled on the baseball team, and even produced a 13-0 record with a .77 ERA as a high school senior, whiffing 139 batters in 64 innings while allowing 23 hits and 26 walks. He also threw a perfect game during his high school team's state playoffs and was named the Gatorade National Player of the Year for baseball, USA Today's High School Baseball Player of the Year, a first-team All-American by Baseball America, as well as being listed as having the best fastball of any high school pitcher entering the draft after his final high school season ended. During his senior year, Kershaw attracted the interest of numerous MLB scouts, but college baseball recruitment was also top of the mind for the young lefty. Kershaw's close relationship with his mother made it so he didn't want to play college baseball too far outside of Texas. Stanford University, which is in Northern California, offered him a 90% scholarship, but that was never really considered a serious option for Clayton. Kershaw's recruitment ended up being between Texas A&M and Oklahoma State, and both teams offered him a full-ride scholarship to attend their school, which is essentially unheard of within Division I baseball because each school is only allowed 11.7 scholarships for a roster of 35 players. Kershaw eventually signed with Texas A&M and dreamed of being roommates with his travel ball teammate Zach Britton, who ended up being an elite closer in MLB for the Baltimore Orioles and other teams. However, that commitment ended up not mattering once the MLB teams came calling. It soon became clear that Kershaw was one of the best prospects in the entire 2006 MLB draft class, despite still being a senior in high school at that point. And while many MLB teams, including the Mariners, who had the 5th overall pick in the 06 MLB draft, were clamoring to sign this lefty from Dallas, Texas, it was the Los Angeles Dodgers who eventually drafted him with the 7th overall pick in that draft. While the Dodgers picking Kershaw has obviously aged well, there were other future MLB superstars selected in the first round of the 2006 draft, such as longtime elite third baseman Evan Longoria, who the Tampa Bay Devil Rays selected with the 3rd overall pick, San Francisco Giants legend Tim Lincecum, who went 10th overall, and future Hall of Famer Max Scherzer, who went 11th overall to the Diamondbacks. Kershaw ended up signing a whopping $2.3 million signing bonus with the Dodgers, putting his college baseball dreams in the rearview mirror. At the time, it was the largest bonus conferred on any Dodgers draft pick. And with that, Kershaw's professional baseball career began. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to leave us a like and hit that subscribe button so that you never miss any future videos about baseball's biggest superstars and their backstories. Soon after being drafted by the Dodgers, Kershaw, who was still just 18 years old at this point, began his professional career playing rookie ball for the Dodgers in the Gulf Coast League. He threw just 37 innings in that developmental league in 2006, but produced an impressive 1.95 ERA and a whopping 54 strikeouts. He featured a fastball that topped out at 96 miles per hour. He then began his first full season of professional baseball in 2007 with the Great Lakes Loons in the Class A Midwest League. Kershaw ended up starting 20 games for the Loons in that season, logging a 2.77 ERA over 97.1 innings and a staggering 134 strikeouts, and earned a spot on Team USA for the 2007 MLB All-Star Futures Game. Kershaw ended up finishing that 2007 season by getting promoted to the AA Jacksonville Suns. He threw 24.2 innings for the Suns and logged a 3.65 ERA and 29 strikeouts. At this point, it was clear that Kershaw was one of baseball's brightest prospects and was destined to join the Dodgers MLB team in short order. Still, he began the 08 season with Jacksonville, where he maintained a dominant 1.91 ERA while striking out 59 batters over 61.1 innings pitched. This performance affirmed that he was ready for a call-up to the major leagues, and that's exactly what Kershaw received on May 24, 2008, when the Dodgers bought Kershaw's minor league contract, and he was added to the active roster. He made his MLB debut on May 25th against the Cardinals. He pitched 6 innings and allowed 2 runs, striking out 7 Cardinals hitters who had won the World Series 2 seasons prior. When he debuted, Kershaw was the youngest player in MLB at 20 years 67 days old, a title he held for an entire year. There are too many accolades Kershaw amassed in his MLB career to write them all down or go into too much detail about all 17 of his seasons, but here are the accomplishments we'd be foolish to ignore. Kershaw has won the prestigious Cy Young Award 3 times in 2011, 2013, and 2014, recognizing him as the best pitcher in the National League multiple times during his esteemed career. In 2014, Kershaw made history by becoming the first player since 1968 to win the MVP award after producing a 21-3 record with a 1.91 ERA and 239 strikeouts in 198.1 innings pitched. Kershaw has also been selected to the MLB All-Star Game 10 total times. He earned the NL Gold Glove Award in 2011 for his defensive prowess on the pitching mound, proving that he's not only an outstanding pitcher, but also a well-rounded player. Kershaw has also led the league in strikeouts 3 times in 2011, 2013, and 2015, proving his ability to dominate hitters. Kershaw has won 5 total ERA titles, 2011 through 2014 and 2017, which makes it seem like he probably should have won more than 3 NL Cy Young Awards. He also made significant contributions in the postseason, helping lead the Dodgers to a World Series championship in 2020, their first title in over 3 decades, by posting a 4-1 record with a 2.93 ERA and 37 strikeouts in 5 appearances that fateful postseason. Kershaw holds multiple franchise records for the Dodgers, including career strikeouts and wins, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest pitchers in franchise history. However, despite this certain Hall of Fame-worthy career, Kershaw has certainly had his fair share of horrific moments on the mound. The most notorious example of this came in Game 1 of the 2023 NLDS against the D-backs. In this fateful game, Kershaw conceded a staggering 6 runs on 6 hits in the first inning of that game and was pulled from the outing after recording just 1 out. The Dodgers ended up losing the game 11-2, putting them into a hole that they were unable to climb out of against their divisional foe, as the Diamondbacks eventually bounced them out of the World Series. After this abysmal game ended, Kershaw was quoted saying, "It was disappointing, embarrassing. I think you just feel like you let everybody down. The whole organization looks to you to pitch well in Game 1, and yeah, it's just embarrassing really. It's a tough way to start the postseason," he added. Tough indeed. But that's far from Kershaw's only poor playoff performance. He was the Dodgers' starting pitcher for Game 5 of the World Series against the Astros. Despite his offense providing him 12 runs of support, it wasn't enough for Kershaw to give his team a lead, as he conceded 6 earned runs and 4.2 innings of work. The Astros went on to win the game 13-12, taking a commanding 3-2 lead in a series they would ultimately win. However, given that the Astros were in the midst of their infamous sign-stealing scandal during this series, perhaps Kershaw has a fair excuse for why he was shelled so badly against them. But there's no such excuse for his outing in Game 1 of the 2014 NLDS against the Cardinals. He gave up 8 earned runs across 6.2 innings pitched in that game. That included an absolute meltdown in the 7th inning where the Cardinals scored 8 runs. St. Louis ended up winning the game and taking the series from Los Angeles. It's performances like these that showcase why Kershaw has a reputation for choking in the playoffs throughout his career before his 2020 campaign. And while his excellent 2.93 ERA during that postseason and the fact that they won a World Series title does a lot to help repair that reputation, Kershaw still has an ugly 4.49 ERA in his postseason career. This will likely always be considered a stain on what has been an otherwise impeccable baseball career. And like every other pitcher, Kershaw is only as good as his pitches. So, let's take a look at his pitching analytics to see what has propelled him across his iconic career. While Kershaw is best known for his loopy Cooperstown curveball, the breaking pitch he uses more frequently and has had the most success with is actually his slider. In Baseball Savant, which is produced by StatCast, every pitch that every MLB pitcher throws is assigned a run value based on its outcome. And in 2023, Kershaw produced an 18-run value with his slider alone, which he threw 43.4% of the time according to Baseball Savant. This essentially means that Kershaw's slider alone made him concede 18 fewer runs than an average MLB pitcher in just the 2023 season, which has been one of the highest marks for an individual pitch in an individual season that has ever been recorded since StatCast began tracking these metrics in 2015. Kershaw's curveball has also been a historically effective pitch, as he's always produced at least a neutral 0-run value for this loopy pitch every season since 2015. But more often than now, he's generated about a 6-run value with the curve. Regardless of how effective a pitcher's breaking stuff is, they need to also have a lethal fastball if they're to succeed in MLB. And unfortunately, fastball velocity is typically the first thing to decline for a pitcher as they age. And Kershaw is no exception. In 2008, Kershaw's average fastball velocity was 94.4 miles per hour. Since then, it's gradually declined at almost a precise rate each season. During the limited innings he threw in 2024, which he missed most of due to injury, his average fastball velocity was 89.9 miles per hour, which was the first time in his MLB career that he couldn't eclipse an average of at least 90. And if Kershaw returns in 2025, his fastball will likely continue to decrease in potency. This brings us to another concerning development with Kershaw, his injury history. He underwent surgery to repair a torn capsule in his left shoulder last November and didn't make his first appearance of the 2024 season until July 25th. He then pitched 30 innings before missing the rest of the year due to a bone spur in his big toe. Kershaw has also dealt with numerous back injuries over the past few seasons, which is always a bad sign for an aging pitcher. All of this is to say that despite his glimpses of occasional dominance, Kershaw is a shell of the pitcher that he once was. Which begs the question, why do the Dodgers seemingly insist on keeping him each season? Does his presence really make LA better? And the answer to those questions is a resounding yes. While statistics, accolades, and advanced analytics can provide an objective indication of a player's value on the field, there's no metric to assess their impact off the field, in a team's locker room. And it's here where Kershaw makes a difference for the Dodgers. Even when he's injured or giving up 6 runs in the first inning of a crucial postseason game. But don't take our word for it. Listen to this story of former Los Angeles outfielder Trayce Thompson, who's also the brother of NBA legend Klay Thompson, that was published in Sports Illustrated in March 2023. He's the same towards everybody, Thompson said of Kershaw. He's fun to be around. He brings energy to the field every single day. Guys can feed off him, from all the other star players in here to a lot of the minor league guys that are going to start this year in the minor leagues. He's a great teammate, a great human being as well, Thompson continued. It's been an honor and a privilege to be his teammate, and he really just brings out the best in pretty much everybody he comes across. This isn't the only heartfelt quote that one of Kershaw's teammates has dropped about playing with him. Numerous Dodgers, past and present, have waxed poetic about how great of a person he is. And when one attends a Dodgers game live or watches them on TV, Kershaw can typically be seen standing along the top rail, either chatting it up with a teammate, celebrating their on-field success, or consoling a fellow Dodger who's fallen on hard times at the plate or on the mound. Having sorts of guys like this is invaluable for any team, and this brand of leadership is magnified when it's a future Hall of Famer like Kershaw who set a sterling example on the mound for the past 15 seasons. So, back to the initial question we started this video with. How bad is Clayton Kershaw actually? We feel like, after the background info we've given you, the stories of his successes and struggles in the MLB, what the data and analytics say about his success both now and in the past, plus his impact on and off the field that we've just now alluded to, you should be able to formulate your own decision. What's for sure is that whenever Kershaw decides to retire, which could be as soon as this 2024 and 25 MLB offseason, it'll only be a matter of time before his jersey is retired by the Dodgers and he becomes a first-ballot MLB Hall of Fame inductee. Does that sound like someone who's bad to you? Thanks for watching, and thanks for following the Yak Fam and allowing us to be a part of your day.